What is going on, guys? Joey Shake 72. We have Philly.500 on this side, and the first podcast for this channel for us to have come together and get this done. Been really excited about it. So, how are you doing? What's going on? How's everything going?
Joey, I am doing great. I'm excited about the podcast without a name. I'm very excited about, and if my hat looks crooked, I realize it's not the hat, it's the head. But I'm still here. I still can think a little bit. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be doing with this with you. We've been talking about this for a while now, so it's finally glad to get this thing going.
And it's about time. So to kind of, if people are new here that really haven't known the news, what's going on. So me and Philly.500 has started our own podcast. So every week, every Saturday at 9 o'clock Eastern, we will be switching channels every week. So this week, today, tonight it's on my channel. Next week will be on Philly.500. So we're gonna go back and forth on channels every single Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you guys have not, in the link below, we have the special announcement video. So we're looking for a name for the podcast. If you guys want to register to win for a really nice prize, just any type of name. You could comment as many times as possible on whatever name you guys want to pick for our podcast. Go to that video and show some love there. I mean, we already have a good amount of names right now. I haven't looked over all of them yet, but some of them are looking pretty nice. And the creativity from some of you guys. So just go to that video and comment any podcast name you want. And if you win, you get a prize. And this is going to be exciting, man.
Look at the super chat you got from Jason Kelsey.
What? What?
They keep. Somebody really still has that picture. Dude,
wow.
Oh,
that's crazy.
I love it.
Yo, so that pic, is that real? Is that your hair used to look like that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I thought it was like a prophet or something walking the earth. No. I used to have long hair. I used to roll it up in my hat, and then I take off and it just. But that's hilarious, dude.
Yeah, because I remember you having that hair when you first started.
I never had that. My hair was cut when I started YouTube.
Right.
So I posted that on something, but I don't know. It's just funny that somebody would still have it.
Well, thank you, Jason Kelsey, for the 99-cent super chat. Much appreciated, man.
Yes.
Much appreciated.
Hungry dogs run fast.
And for a good laugh, too. That was fantastic.
Oh, that's hilarious, dude. I heard a good name, the Mother Humpers, but we'll have to see. That's my number one pick so far. But
there's some really good. There's some interesting names that I've looked at, which are awesome.
Yeah.
Want to go over a new member, Eagles UK. Thank you for coming a member, bro, of the Shake Squad Army. Much appreciated, man. Really do appreciate it. You're gonna love it here. I'm actually tweaking a few things with the memberships right now, so you'll see some more things in the coming days with everything going on. So. Kind of want to go over this first spot of news that kind of brought us to a halt from Mike Florio this week to talk about the Deshaun Watson rumors. There has been rumors that the Eagles, we heard from last week that they were, monitoring the situation, but now it seems like the Eagles might have legit interest and make a go at it once everything has calmed down with Deshaun Watson's situation. So I want to know from you, where is this going? Do you think it's legit interest?
Here's the thing, and I did a video on this yesterday, and I think people kind of some people mistook what I was saying. Personally, on a personal level, I want to go with Jalen Hurts. I want to give him the chance. I'm not interested in all the off-the-field problems that's going on with Watson, whether it's innocent, guilty, whatever. That's not important. It's that is a lot of crazy stuff going on. And then if he gets his name clear, you still have to trade for him. Well, what are they going to want? I prefer to keep and try to go with Jalen Hurts first year. I understand the Watson talent, right? My thought is this. I think there's got to be something to it, only because we keep hearing it from other people. It keeps coming up. We keep hearing that the Eagles may draft a quarterback. They tried to get up to 3 to get Wilson. when you hear this much stuff, you got to think something's to it. And what's interesting about Watson, if they were to do it, let's say in a year from now, he clears his name, he didn't do anything wrong, he's coming back. Howie Roseman may look at this, and his perspective, not mine, but he may look at it and say, you know what? We could get this guy dirt cheap. He's dirt cheap now. He's 26 years old. There's no trade value, and why not get a bargain? So I think I don't know. I think there may be something to it. Maybe it's just the Eagles are monitoring it in case, in a year from now, Ertz doesn't work out. But me personally, on a personal level, no, I would stick with Ertz this year.
Yeah, obviously the price is going to drop. Like from last month, it was probably a whole different bargain before any of this other stuff with Deshaun Watson came up. But now, the longer this goes, I think the cheaper the compensation it's going to be, and the Eagles are going to take advantage of that. Well, definitely. I mean, I definitely think they're going to take advantage of it. So it is something to look at, and I really hope that, I don't know what they're going to do, and like I said, I agree with Jalen Hurts being the starting quarterback. I mean, from hearing from players now, we're kind of hearing, Lane Johnson spoke out a little bit the past couple days, and he was saying Jalen Hurts, you know what I mean? So I think obviously Jalen Hurts is the quarterback. He's QB1. In my opinion, that's what's going on right now. Yeah. I don't think they think of any other player right now.
Yeah. I kind of think, and I wish I would have elaborated on this in my video yesterday, but I could do it now, so I'm going to do it. I think that it wasn't so much about right now, but in maybe a year from now, if let's say Hurts isn't the guy, and his name is clear, that may be what they're looking at. Not now. I think right now it's Jalen Hurts,
Yep, definitely. We got a super chat from Devante Smith. Appreciate it. Says, my two favorite Eagles YouTubers, love the content. Keep it up. Hashtag #FlyEaglesFly. Appreciate it, man. The support has been unreal. I'm glad that we were able to do this, and I'm telling you, I'm excited for more of these. Especially when the season comes, it's going to be even better.
Absolutely, and Devante Smith, I just want to tell you that I'm hoping, I'm pulling that at 12. Unless Kyle Pitts or JaMarr Chase are there, you're my guy. You're my guy. I love you.
Boss. So I want to go over some Zach Ertz news. Okay, so okay. Lane Johnson spoke out, I think yesterday, I think it was yesterday, and talked about just obviously, if Zach Ertz is to come back, there'd be no problem with it. He still thinks he's productive, and I don't know what's going on, but it's getting to that point now. Obviously, you have that post-June going on. He's $12 million against the cap, which is a pretty big number. And I don't know what do you think? Draft night trade before the draft, or post-June they're going to do something and release him at some point. So
I think that if it doesn't happen draft night, they're gonna keep him the year and play him out. I really think that. I mean, I think the Eagles are totally content with playing him and letting him play one more year and then walk, which I don't understand at all. I would have traded him 2 years ago, but I think the best shot he has of going is draft night. Maybe they want to move up some point, something like that. I mean, maybe there's teams that are waiting to get a tight end. And then once they don't get a tight end, they'll look for a veteran to come in and be that gap, stopgap kind of guy. So, I mean, not that Zach Ertz is a stopgap, but I'm hoping it's draft night. I don't think you're going to get a lot for him, though. Maybe a 5th-round pick, maybe swapping, 3rd-round picks or something like that. But we'll see.
Yeah, no, we should see. I think, I think they have some leverage with it when it comes to, where they could, maybe if they could deal him during the draft. But other than that, I don't think they really have much to really go on, because I've already heard they're not even going to get a 3rd or 4th round pick for him at this point. So what are you really going to get? I think at the end of the day, if you can't trade him on draft night, if no teams even are interested, I think obviously you just cut him. You take your $4.5 million in cap space and just part ways. Because I don't know if the Eagles are talking to Zach Ertz saying, hey, maybe just play this year, but it makes no sense because we're not taking that $12 million cap hit. So
yeah,
I really just don't see it happening at all. Yeah. I really don't. Yeah, I think it's his time is up.
But I will say this. I think you're probably right, but I didn't expect him to take a $10 million cap hit with Derek Barnett either, It's like, I don't know. I don't understand sometimes. But the other thing to think about is that you got what's his face? Dallas Goedert, his contract's up at the end of next year too. So you could lose both tight ends. Do you want to not take a good look at Dallas Goedert and see if he's the guy that you want to sign long term? I have to wonder.
Yeah, definitely. I want to talk about Howie Roseman in this draft. Just between all the picks that he has 11 picks right now, and obviously that's excluding the Zach Ertz, pending Zach Ertz trade or whatever does happen. There's no excuse for Howie Roseman to not move up. I mean, he has no excuse after this draft when he has his press conference to say, I didn't have enough leverage. I didn't have enough draft picks to maneuver. I mean, what do you think about how aggressive? There has been some rumors about how he's going to get a little aggressive in this draft, and I believe he can. I think if you give him the tools, he really can, and I think he has those tools.
I think the one thing Howie Roseman is good at is trades. He's good at getting good value for trades. I expect the Eagles to be the most aggressive team in this draft. They pretty much were the quietest team in free agency. I think that in the draft, you have 11 picks this year, not to mention you have 3 first-round picks potentially next year. There's no excuse to not do something. If they sit there and they take it 12, they wait till 37, I'm going to be pissed off. Okay? I think being aggressive, going up or going down, he's going to do it. The question is he going to make the right pick? That's exactly the question,
Yeah. We got a super chat from Devante Smith. Thanks, man. He said, I told you, Joey, a couple days ago in the stream we were targeting Smith. Either he falls to 12 or to be safe, we could trade up to 8 or 9 to get him. He's the guy. Agree?
I said that when we were at 6, there were 4 guys I wanted. Penei Sewell, Kyle Pitts, JaMarr Chase, or Devante Smith. So if I get Devante Smith at 12, it's a win.
So say Devante Smith and Jalen Waddle are available at 12, and J.C. Horn is available at 12. Are you still taking one of those receivers over J.C. Horn?
Yeah, because I have them both rated higher. If I had to do a big board, I would have Devante Smith 1, Waddle 2, Horn 3. Right. So I would take the highest guy. It's not. I don't have Smith a lot ahead of Waddle. But just a little bit, So either one of those guys, I'm totally okay with.
Let's see what we got here. Mario Rush says, with the 12th pick, the Eagles select the defensive end out of Houston. I'm not big on these defensive ends. Like Kwity Paye, we can't go in that direction. I think you've said in past streams that the one move you don't want the Eagles to make is them taking to get smart. How he gets smart and take that defensive end or take that opposite position.
No, because that's in recent history, that is what they've done. At 12, they took Fletcher Cox. 13 or 14, it was Barnett and Brandon Graham. This is a defensive end wheelhouse. So I could see them doing that. And it's not that I hate taking a position. It's that I hate that you're going to be leaving better talent on the board for a position. And that is a mistake. And he's got is that a Nate Gary thumbnail?
Who? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Nate Gary's never had the makings of a varsity athlete. I hate Nate Gary stinks, but Mario's awesome.
Let's see here.
I think he did that on purpose.
No, I think he's had that for a while. I think,
really?
But I think he has. I think I've seen him before. All right. We got Paul Mancini who says, I like quarterback Horner Surtain at 12. If both are gone, then I would go offensive line Slater or trade down.
I mean, for me personally, if they took Horn or Surtain, I'm not going to complain a bit. I have no problem as long as it was the best player that was on their board. I just want the Eagles to be honest to their board.
So I want to ask, what do you see in Surtain? What do you see in J.C. Horn? Like, just separate their skill sets. What do you see for both of them?
Well, I think Surtain is very big, very physical. He seems like if you watch some of his film, it looks like he knows where the receiver's going to go before they get there. You know what I mean? He sometimes looks like the receiver and not the cornerback. What scares me about him is I think he's going to have problems with speed. He's bigger and he's more physical. He almost looks like a safety to me. I'm not saying he's a safety, but he does look like that. I look at Horn, and I think he has the perfect combination. All the things that people like in Surtain, all the things that people like in, let's say, Caleb Farley, he has all those traits. He's 6'1", 205 pounds, ran a 4.39. I think Horn is rated higher because I think he can handle the speed guys and the bigger physical receivers.
Yeah, no, I think with Horn, I definitely see he gets those. He could cover those twitch receivers, those really fast receivers going downfield. Not even just that, but his size and how he can move with his size is definitely something amazing. But from Surtain, I've seen some really good things. Like I've seen a lot of tape of him almost running the receiver's route and the quarterback almost throwing the ball to him. Like it looks like he's being the receiver in a play for the other team. So it's kind of crazy how I don't know if it's just watching a lot of tape, good football IQ or whatnot, could really study his opponent for the week. Something like that. So very.
I saw something on him, and they were talking about him studying film. Like he studies film.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to come in handy. So 208 people in the chat, guys. Appreciate everybody being here. If you guys have subscribed, please subscribe, like this video, like the stream. This is our first ever podcast. And if you guys haven't heard of Philly.500, I don't know what Eagles content creators you're watching because you're looking at a legend right here. This is the legend, the number one guy. And that's my opinion because I think he's fantastic. He's entertaining. So description below, his link is there. Subscribe to him and his channel. If you don't know who Philly.500 is, I don't even know what to tell you anymore. Want to go over some of these super chats real quick. We got Sloppy Joe Sloppy Show with the super chat. Love that name. I've seen that name a few times.
That's pretty good.
Hey, yo, is a coverage linebacker still a need in the second or third round with the Wilson signing, or does it open up room to address elsewhere?
Me personally, I think that it depends. It depends who the linebacker is, obviously. But, I mean, Wilson's only signing for 1 year. So it's not like we can say, hey, he's going to be there the next 5 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a prove-it deal for a pretty good monster year from him. I mean, coming in on injuries, 122 tackles, 3 picks. And you know what? Obviously, people are kind of complaining about his against the run. He's not great against the run, but now we're kind of getting the total opposite of linebackers in Eric Wilson. You get a guy that can actually cover now.
Yeah.
But I would still add to that group. The more room you have at training camp, the more competition you're going to have at the end of the day. Yeah. So I'm all for it. Plus, it's gonna make Davion Taylor and Sean Bradley and T.J. Edwards and the rest of these guys work a little bit harder, which really isn't their fault because Jim Schwartz was doing with these linebackers, and with the offseason we had having those just two scrimmages at Lincoln Financial Field during training camp. So it really just wasn't fair at all from the competition standpoint.
And we can't forget Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah because he'll be on our team too.
My God, I would love it. I would totally love it.
I would too. God.
Let me find these. I haven't done this in a while. All right, so we got Leo Oberschmidt with the super chat with a good draft. You think we could win the NFC East?
Yeah, I do.
They're making everybody is making us look so bad right now. But with Sirianni in this offense, I really think he's gonna punch somebody in the mouth come first game of the season. This team is gonna be ready.
And I mean, let's be honest, dude. This isn't the greatest division in the world. You can't. How can anybody say, "Oh, Washington's the clear favorite," the Giants, or even Dallas? None of those teams scare me. I think it's a wide open division. You get good play out of Jalen Hurts. You tell me Lane Johnson, Brandon Brooks, and Kelsey stay healthy all year. I'm telling you, we're fighting for the division.
And you're going by what's on paper more than anything that's even proven at all. These signings look fantastic. I mean, we've seen the Jets do it. We've seen a lot of teams dip in the free agency and pretty much spend a lot of money and really get nowhere. So, I still think it's for the taking regardless. I mean, really, you might see a totally different Eagles team this year, and I hope we do it. This team's getting younger. This coach of ours, this head coach of Nick Sirianni, is just, he knows his players inside and out, the strengths, the weaknesses, the scheme, and he wants everything perfect, just perfect. And I've seen how they use some of his players.
I really like everything I've seen from him so much. He's the thing out of this whole offseason that I'm most excited about. For whatever reason, dude, he just makes me want to play football. He gets me fired up, man. And I think he's going to have an impact on Howie Roseman. And I was saying this today in my video. Howie Vision is going to be messed up this year because once he starts talking about a player, dude, it's so contagious. you can't help but be like, yeah, let's get this guy. I think he's going to have an impact.
Yeah, definitely. So we got Big T in here with the super chat. He's one of the biggest. He's been following Kyle Pitts for a long time. It's almost his whole career. Okay, hear me out. If Pitts is available at 8, Birds give the 12th pick, 3rd round this year, 3rd next, and Ertz for the 8th overall, and keep our 1st next year. Perfect.
Done.
I mean, absolutely perfect. Done deal. I'm not backing out of that whatsoever.
Nope. And I'll go a step further. I would do that, and then I would still trade next year's 1st and my 2nd round to come up and get JOK. Now we're talking.
Oh, yeah.
Now we're talking.
Let's see. Let me go down. Lucio Hinoja says Farley a top 5 talent, in your opinion?
I like Farley, but I still think I have Horn and Surtain over him, and I just heard some things that I didn't even know, that he had a couple back surgeries. I didn't realize that. That scares the hell out of me. Back surgeries scare the hell out of me.
No joke. I mean, so I mean, as a top 5 talent, it's gonna be hard. Like, they still think his pro day was okay, but they still think he's going in the 1st round, which I don't know.
I mean, I don't think he's a top 5 talent. If we're gonna go top 5 talent, let's say non-quarterbacks. Okay, let's just rate on. I would probably go Kyle Pitts, Penny Sewell, JaMarr Chase, maybe Parsons, and then one of those other running backs, or even maybe J.C. Horn or Surtain. It would be one of those guys.
Right. Yeah. No, it makes sense. It does make sense. We got Mark Check. It says, this is the best 2 of my favorite Eagles YouTubers. Much appreciated, man.
Thank you, buddy.
Much appreciated. Damian Francisco said, would you touch Watson until every single lawsuit is handled, no matter what? The league will still probably suspend him.
I agree. I don't think you can touch him until everything's cleared up. That's why I think if there is any truth to this stuff, I don't think it was for now. I really think it was maybe a year down the road when we have 3 first-round picks, and if Ertz doesn't work out, we'll keep our eye on this situation. That's what I think it is, but who knows?
I mean, you think this is going to run throughout this whole – I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, you think this whole entire thing with him is going to run throughout the season?
I mean,
you think it's going to go –
It's like 20-something people, right? It's like I don't think it's going to get cleared up anytime soon, at least not by the draft.
Yeah, no, definitely not by the draft. No way.
And once it's cleared, if you're Houston, you want to move them as soon as possible because you've lost all value. They've lost all trade value.
So SB says Watson for Hurts straight up. Watson will be suspended. Will be a top 10 again next year. Draft 3 first rounds. Pick Super Bowl 2023.
I mean, look, when you talk about Deshaun Watson as a football player, I love him. He was my favorite quarterback coming out at that time. I like him. I think he's very talented. He's young. But at this point, where the Eagles are with Jalen Hurts, I would go with Hurts this year. Ask me that same question next December, next off season. Mm-hmm. I may say, yeah, go do it now. You know.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy because, you know, that front office has really messed everything up. Like, I could see why he's been having trouble, like trading D-Hop for a second round pick and an old running back. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, David Johnson didn't have a good year. I thought he had a pretty good year, but for the trade value of, like, you rather bring in get rid of D-Hop for literally nothing and you get David Johnson. It makes no sense.
It was so stupid. And let me tell you, that was the trade the Eagles should have jumped all over.
2 seconds.
I mean, that was it. That was the off-season move.
When's the last time Howie Roseman traded a higher than a 4th round pick for a player?
Slay, 3rd, right?
But because I understand that. I mean, like before, yeah, I know. Yeah, well, that had to happen regardless. But before that, I think it's really been a while. I don't even know.
Like a top guy.
Like a top guy. I don't even remember. Like, see, that's why. Like, he doesn't like. This is what even with Howie Roseman. Like, he doesn't. You know, when it comes to like a really like with Slay, like it kind of had to happen, but you know this doesn't happen too much where he just jumps on it. But he'll have the picks and he'll jump on those players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to see an aggressive GM like that, but we'll see what happens though.
Yeah, no doubt.
We have another super chat. I'm trying to. This is really confusing. I don't even see this one. Oh wait, there it is. Okay.
I tell you, it's crazy.
We got Atticus. Appreciate the super chat, man. He says, happy to see you both guys on the podcast. I think Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts are going to shock the NFC East, especially if we take an offensive player in the draft, Devante, Kyle, or Waddle.
I totally agree. 100% agree. Genius super chat.
Even Lane Johnson said that he wants a playmaker. He wants a playmaker in this offense. I think he said it on ESPN today or yesterday. I forgot what he said it, but he wants a playmaker. I think you need to get that tone-setting offensive player, or get a linebacker, regardless if you want to pick up Jock or whoever's really available at that point.
Let me ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
What do you, when you look at like Devante Smith and Waddle, what do you think their ceilings are, and what do you think the ceiling of Horn is? What would you say the ceiling of those three guys are? Because those are three guys that I think you have to go with who you think is going to have or the bigger ceiling.
I know I've been more of a Jalen Waddle fan more than a Devante Smith fan. Mm-hmm. But with Devante Smith, it's really hard to pass on a guy like that just because between pinpointing the football, the athleticism, get behind the guys. I think the concentration of tracking the football through traffic, I think that's definitely something really good. And obviously one of the best route runners. I think he'll be a top receiver in the NFL. I mean, hands down. Obviously we talk about JaMarr Chase as well. I mean, he's definitely he's going to be ridiculous. He's going to be a freak of nature in the NFL as well. And J.C. Horn is just one of those guys where, you're going to put him on the best. You could definitely put him on the best guy every week, but, it's not bad to draft a guy like him, especially, Darius Slay has, this year and next year left on his contract, and really you could have that number one guy, and I think he's got that number one potential. Do I say shutdown? I don't know, because he's covered some really good receivers in college. I mean, you go down the whole list. I had the whole list in front of me, but he's covered a lot of good players, and it really shows on tape what he could do. Does he win all of his battles? No, but consistently he does really well.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think all three of those guys are going to be impact players in the NFL. So, it's hard for me to get mad at whoever they pick, but if I'm doing it, if I'm basing upon what I have, I'm getting Devante Smith or Waddle. Unless Pitts falls to 7 or 8, then I go up and get him.
Right. Jersey Boy Sour, defense will be solid if we draft cornerback 2 to pair with Slade. Great pickup, Wilson and Howard. People will count us out, but the division is wide open.
Wide open. I agree.
Like honestly, having no money in free agency, so they were slow strategic signings. Okay, that's what I think of some of these signings where, obviously, Jordan Howard is, it's depth, or they're really going to use him. I don't know if they're going to use a bruiser back this year. I mean, I don't know how many running backs you think they're going to keep on this roster as of right now, because Killins is most likely a special teams guy. Huntley is just, I don't know if he's even going to make the roster, you know what I mean? Or they want to put him on special teams. So I don't know what you think about the running back, position as a whole and how many running backs they're going to keep.
I think you need a bigger back. I think if you look at kind of what they did, look at the Chargers, what they did. They kind of like to run a little more than we do. I think they like those little bigger backs. So I'm okay. I think Jordan Howard will be a complementary piece to Miles Sanders. I think they'll use him right. I think they'll use him more. As far as the free agency has gone, it's been very strategic, but it's also been defense heavy.
Yeah.
So I think that means they're going offense in the draft. That's right.
Unless they sign a veteran cornerback the next couple weeks, which obviously the TJ Carey rumors, the Steven Nelson rumors. I'm surprised no one's touched Steven Nelson yet. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. He hasn't signed with any team, and I don't know if the Eagles would be interested. But I think if you can add him, I think I still think they're going offense regardless, but someone is definitely going to drop. I think one of those two receivers, receivers in Waddle and Smith are definitely going to drop to us. I mean, that's definite. So
yeah.
We have a super chat from Sloppy Joe's Sloppy Show. Thanks again, bro. He says, random thought for the night. I just have a feeling that Zaven Collins, Terrence Marshall, and Tamarian Terry are going to pop in the NFL.
I like Zaven Collins. I like Terrence Marshall a lot. And I don't know enough about Terry to give anybody a proper opinion.
Do you think meeting up with Kadarius and Tony and meeting up with Terrace Marshall? Do you think that indicates that they're just leaving their options open in the second round in case there's someone that they really like hitting defensively comes at 12?
If we based who they interview, it would look like they're going defense in the first and looking for what receiver they want in the second. That's what it looks like. But we know from the past with Dontari Poe who came in, the fact that they drafted Andre Dillard, he didn't even talk to the Eagles. I don't put as much stock into it as many people.
Yeah. Hold on, I thought I missed something here. No, did I? No, I don't think so. Paul Betsy says Ertz trade situation. He'll be traded during the draft. Trade third round pick number 84 and Ertz to a team like the Jaguars for their 65th pick, first pick in the third round. There's obviously a bunch. I mean, there's a bunch of trade scenarios you could do with Zach Ertz, depending on which teams need tight ends badly. And that's definitely a team that needs a tight end as well. So
third and Ertz to go up about 20 spots. I mean, I could see something like that.
Do definitely.
That. I definitely could.
Do you think FCB says? Do you really think Howie will suck up his ego and draft a receiver with the first pick?
I think Howie is going to be mesmerized. I think Howie is going to be mesmerized with Nick Sirianni talking about route running and how great that he's going to. I think Nick Sirianni is going to have an effect on Howie Roseman. He is going to block Howie vision. Like, did you watch WandaVision? Did you watch it? Have you watched it?
Of course, yes.
Okay, so Nick Sirianni is Agatha Harkness. That's who he is, but a good one. He's my cannoli-eating friend, Nick Sirianni. He's like Agatha Harkness. He is going to influence old Howie vision. That's what I think.
There's got to be some type of collaborative effort. That's why, when Dave Spadaro was interviewing both of them, and with Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni, and they're like, "Well, what kind of players do you like?" He was asking Nick that question. So I'm sitting here like, there's got to be some type of collaborative effort in the draft. How would you not want to listen to Nick and what he wants? How can you just be like, how can you listen to what Nick says and then just turn around and do whatever you want to do yourself? I just have a feeling he's in his ear. He's in his ear about the players he wants and just who's going to work out here.
I'm telling you. I hear him talking. I'm like putting the helmet. I'm like, where do you want me to run? Who do you want me to hit? I'll hit that mother humper right now. Who is it? My mom? I don't care. That's Nick Sirianni, man. He's got Howie. I ain't worried about Howie. Howie, I think, has been neutralized. That's what I feel.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's because when did you feel like that after seeing Nick Sirianni just talk the past couple?
When he was talking about route runners, I was like, oh, I love this guy.
No banana routes. Just stick your foot in the ground and go upfield. I love that.
I'm thinking if he's sitting next to you in the draft room, going, I love this. How can you say no? Pass the cannolis and do what he says.
Oh, man. So Philly.024 says Waddle's ceiling might be higher than Smith with his explosiveness and agility, but Smith has the higher floor.
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, Waddle's explosive. He is so explosive. But I don't know, something about Devante Smith when I watch him at the high points, some of the catches he makes. I just think that he's been so overlooked because of the weight issue. I like him. But, I mean, look, Waddle and him, to me, are very close. You take Waddle over Smith, I'm not going to complain. But if it was up to me, I would go Smith. But I understand what Philly.024 is saying.
Got Mr. International saying, wow, two of my favorite Eagles content creators on the podcast. What a ways you have came.
Thank you, buddy.
We have talked about this for a while, and I appreciate everybody. And there's been a lot of messages for people talking about just both of us, how they like the chemistry, and we don't really try to be professional. We just talk football, and we do it normally. Sometimes me and Philly.500 will talk, off camera and off screen and everything. And it's always great just to talk football and just get our minds, rolling with things. Yep. So it's great.
Yep.
The process is dynamic duo.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Says Bob Smith says huge drop off from Surtain and Horn to the next best cornerbacks. Not so big a drop off in the wide receiver. Makes more sense to go cornerback round 1, wide receiver round 2, unless Waller Smith are there at 12. Then okay.
He says huge drop off from Surtain and Horn to the next best corner. Not so drop off to wide receiver. Makes more sense to go cornerback 1 or 2. I'm just reading it again because see that's to me that's a tricky philosophy, because what you're really doing there is you're now really drafting based on position and not of being honest to the board. I want the Eagles, because of who the GM is, to ignore what the positions of need they think are and just stay true to the board. Hey, look, this guy, Devante Smith or Waddle, they're the highest rated guy we have left. We're going to draft them. That's how they get themselves in trouble, is when they go away from that.
Or not even just that, but talk about a name that you never heard of, or just guys that they're drafting. J.J. Arthega, Umbrella Whiteside, that we just can't. I mean, he's gone. I mean, he's got to be gone. There's no way he's surviving. If another receiver gets drafted here, he's not going to last. I don't even think he's going to be on practice squad at this point. I mean, it's
he stinks. He the Umbrella Man, forever going to be compared to my man DK Metcalf. You know what I mean? The guy eats thunder and craps lightning. You know what I mean? Dude, how do you look at those two? I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Did they figure he was like an Alshon Jeffrey replacement? He just had a little bit more speed to him? Was he just another 50-50 catch guy that just had a little bit more elusiveness to him? I really don't know what he's supposed to be honest.
Well, at first they said that it was due to production that Arthega Whiteside had at school. Okay, but that should only be one thing. When you go to the combine and this guy is killing it, and you're looking at his other stuff, I mean, everybody on the planet knew. And then they said, "Oh well, we were worried about injury." But this was your second round pick. It wasn't your first round. It was your second round pick. If there's ever a chance to take a shot on a top 10 guy, it's right there. I mean, isn't it? I mean, they took a shot in the second round on Sidney Jones. It doesn't make sense to me.
Another failing. It just doesn't end. It just doesn't end. And then, like, these players leave. They play great elsewhere, or they're just more productive anywhere else, and that just shows bad coaching. That's why if Doug was here right now, like, I don't think we trust this draft. I mean, we already don't trust it enough as it is, but I think we would trust it even more than we do now. You know what I mean?
The only reason I kind of feel good about this draft, even though Howie's making it, is because Nick Sirianni is going to control him. And 2, I think that he may be feeling like he has to come away with a successful draft. Like, his job is on the line. So maybe he'll listen to his scouts. I mean, you remember the reports, right, where they said that they wanted Jefferson, his scouts. He said no. Then they wanted to take Jeremy Chin in the second, and he said no. So, you know, maybe he should just listen to his scouts.
They should. It should at least listen to your, like, I understand. Look, when Doug was here, I know there was there had been some power struggle, some really, like, when I go back, even with the Jalen Hurts pick, I don't think that whole room agreed with the pick. That's just me. I feel like half of that room didn't agree with it, and there was some power struggle. And I think Jeffrey Lurie himself has jumped into the pot and mixed it a little bit to kind of change some heads and kind of pick who he really wanted. Maybe having Jalen Hurts is a blessing in disguise. Down the road, if Jalen Hurts is a success or a failure, if he wins us a championship, at the end of the day, we will never agree on that second round pick, regardless of how successful he becomes. It does not matter whatsoever.
No, because it's not about Jalen Hurts. It's about the strategy that they incorporated at the time. That's all it's about. It has nothing to do with Jalen Hurts, you know?
Yeah. Eagle Slayer with the super chat. Thanks, man. He says, "What up, fellas? BPA, no matter what."
I agree. What's up, my man?
Yep. What's up, man? There is 261 people in the chat, guys. If you guys haven't liked the stream, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, I really hope you guys do, because we got plenty of news coming down the road. Me and Philly.500 have a new podcast right now, and this is the first episode. Next Saturday at 9 Eastern, we'll have the same thing on his channel. If you guys haven't subscribed to Philly.500, the link is down below as well. If you guys haven't subscribed to Philly.500, please, I don't know where you guys have been. Seriously.
I won't drive you too crazy. I'll just drive you a little crazy, but that's all right.
Just don't come in the chat with really bad profile pictures that will get the video cut down. That's all I got to say, because we had a problem the other day.
Yeah, I don't even know if that was I don't know what happened. It's playing now. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it come up.
I had a couple people tell me that that other channels were having the same issue. So I think it was YouTube, but that was the funniest damn thumbnail picture I've ever seen, dude. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I heard from a few people that some of their videos went private as well for no reason. Like, some of them went private, or some of them went off the grid. So I think it was a YouTube problem. Thank God, at least. I
didn't get any strikes or anything like that, so I have no idea.
Nah, you don't want that. You don't want that. I don't. If I ever get another one again, I'm telling you, it's not going to be good. We have a super chat for Big T. Thanks very much, man. He says, podcast idea. You both should do round 1 mock draft where you take turns picking for each team. Joe odd picks, 500 even. See how it'll play out for Philly.
I would think that's a great idea. It's something I would consider. Yeah.
Definitely. That's a great idea.
Yeah. I like it.
Now, you said at Philly.500 you're working on some mock drafts right now that haven't been released yet.
I did one mock draft. I called it a mock draft and a cigar. And I just smoke a cigar and do a mock draft. But I got a lot of editing to do on it still.
Yeah. Especially with all these updated. So you do a mock draft and you have all these updated trades and all this stuff happens and you got to redo things again. So
yeah.
I have a couple mock drafts are kind of prepared right now. I haven't touched them yet. So I'm hoping to get those done soon as well. We got Daddy Kitchen Wills as a new member of the Shake Squad Army, man. Appreciate it, brother. Really appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining the Shake Squad Army, bro. Much appreciated, dude. Let's see. Ronnie Wyatt says, I think some of the players, Jeffrey, Jackson, Peters, probably faked injuries last year and still got paid a lot.
It might have, It might have. But what's amazing to me about last year was that when Jeffrey comes back, they take Fulgham and they take snaps away from him. I just don't understand why under that coaching staff, why they refuse to play the young guys when they were more effective.
That's what I'm saying. It's been that veteran favoritism. That's why, Jordan Mailata plays good, and Jason Peters comes back, and then you bench him, and then Doug had to come up with some type of excuse. Like, sometimes it's good to you develop from the bench. I don't know what he said. Some weird stuff. I don't know what it was, but develop from the bench, whatever. I think what hurt me the most was you never gave Quez a shot until Jalen Hurts became quarterback for that one game. You never really gave, John Hightower, he had a couple drops in the beginning, but they were just doing go routes with him most of the time. They were throwing deep to him most of the time. They really didn't know how to use players. I mean, they really did not know how to use, they don't know the strengths and weaknesses of these players. Travis Fulgham, week 4 against the 49ers. We just saw, every time we have a bad season, we always find that gem. Every single time, we always find out. And let me tell you, they probably take all the credit for it. So, we knew that he was something. But Travis Fulgham, and then what happens? He plays well. He could have probably had close to 1,000 yards. I mean, almost at some point if he kept playing and got the reps. But Deshaun Jackson comes back from injury and then gets injured again. Then Alshon Jeffrey comes back and actually played a little bit better with Hurts. You saw some chemistry there for a little while. Right. But I don't know what you thought about when, with Quez Watkins, John Hightower, just some of these receivers that we have there are so underrated, so much more ceiling. So I don't know what you think about that.
I agree. I mean, I didn't understand how they used a lot of these guys. To me, when Alshon wanted to come back, there was no way I was taking Fulgham out of the game. And I actually think when they took those reps from Fulgham, I think it got in his head a little bit because he wasn't as good when he got a chance. He started dropping a lot of balls, things like that. And I'll take it even a step further. A lot of people complain about Jalen Reagor fumbling the football when he first catches it. But he was the only guy with any explosion. He gets, 2-3 punt chances the whole year, and he returns one for a touchdown. I mean, You got to let these guys play. They got to play. I don't like the whole old veteran thing year after year. It drives me nuts, dude.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing every single year. It's like guys get their chances, and then that's pretty much it. I was really upset, like especially I think 2019, the last month of the season when we had to win pretty much against the NFC East, the last 4 games to get into the playoffs, and it was such a breath of fresh air to see just no-name guys on the field. You know, they have a chance to make a name for themselves. The spotlight is on them. You know, it was just It was just such a breath of fresh air seeing young guys in this offense. But then when you go back to this, between Jason Peters and just all these players, and then Jim Schwartz defending Nathan Gary every single week. I mean, you pretty much lost games because of him. Easy. Easy.
He put about 10 years of my life. He did. I've never gotten so pissed off. Maybe only Nelson Aguilar could rival it. It was horrible, dude. Like he didn't know how to. He looked like he runs with high heels on when he plays. That's what I can't stand Nick Gary, dude. And I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, what was his highlight in 19? It was like a pick 6. I mean, that was it. That's all we're going after against the New York Jets. I mean, he really didn't show much of anything. Look, I think moving from safety to linebacker, I had good feelings about him when he first came to linebacker. Said maybe he's finally molded into that linebacker. He can make the calls, and you could really, as a depth guy, I said, okay, maybe he's a good player. But then week after week, Jim just. I don't know. He's had his favoritism on his players that he likes. Like, he loves Jalen Mills. He loves the players that really haven't been great. He likes Jalen Mills. He loves Derek Barnett. I don't know why he has this infatuation with some of these players. I really don't know why, but obviously now we've made a lot of changes. So
yeah, it's true. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what this defense looks like.
Yeah. And we have, oh my God, I gotta go old. We got a new member, Anthony Perry. Appreciate it, bro. Welcome to the Shake Squad Army, bro. Much appreciated. And
coming into this, Anthony Perry, man.
Coming to the stream, man. It's gonna be great. I hope all you guys enjoy what's coming to the future of this podcast. And obviously, in the next couple weeks, we'll figure out a name, and it should be more fun.
We are the podcast without a name right now, like the Washington football team. We have no name. No doubt about it. But, yeah, man, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And shout out to Anthony Perry.
Yeah, Anthony Perry, shout out to you, bro. Thank you very much, man. Even during the season, obviously during the season, the schedule might change. Obviously, we'll talk about it, but because the game's coming up and everything like that, we'll add some different things to the week, obviously. Yeah. So just look out for that. We're not there yet. We have a long way to go still, but the season will be here quick, guys. I mean, before you know it, we lessen those preseason games, I think, which is good. I don't think anyone likes to sit through 4 weeks of preseason. You want to see a little bit of what your guys could do on the field, and hopefully we get to see a lot more.
And we got a big draft coming in a few weeks, man. A big draft, because the Eagles, in my opinion, these next 2 years are key for this team to do good. It's key.
We got Randall Peterson saying Waddle is best wide receiver in draft, marked by words, plus best punt returner in draft.
Waddle's best receiver in draft. He might be the best punt returner. I agree. I think JaMarr Chase is the best pure receiver in this draft, though. But, I mean, look, I could be proven wrong. It's happened before.
Let's see here. We have Darian Brown says J.C. Horn is like Jalen Ramsey, has an attitude. Do you like those guys that have those attitudes like Jalen Ramsey? Are you a big fan of that?
I'm a big fan of it, yeah, especially on defense. I love it. I like a little defense that's a little dirty, that's going to hit guys, that's going to talk. I like it. I like it a lot. I actually miss those days, So, yeah, I always like it. But you got to back it up. If you're not backing it up, then it becomes a issue. So you got to make sure that you can back it up.
Yep. Ronnie Wyatt says J.C. Arcega-Whiteside is buns. He will still be under an umbrella with his mama next season.
I wonder what that whole coaching staff thought. Like, the first day that he's at practice and his mom's walking around with the umbrella over him, they must have been going, who the hell did we just draft? This guy's got no shot. I would have been like, let's cheap shot this guy at practice. Like your mom's with an umbrella, you know? And then you got DK Metcalf. He's banging out curls. He's got chicks all over the place. He's picking up cars to help people. I mean, like, dude, what are we doing?
Yeah, and the cool thing about DK as well is he has a list on his locker about all of the draft analysis saying that why all the teams that passed up on him, but not even just that, but all of like his flaws, all the flaws he was going to have in the NFL. He reads that before every single game. Oh yeah, remember Jim Schwartz said you're remember what did Jim Schwartz say to DK after that game?
You're no Megatron. You're no Megatron. And he said, "Oh, I'll go show you Megatron." And he went and he destroyed us. Every time I watch DK Metcalf, I just go like this. The whole time I'm watching, I just go like this.
Yeah, you're sick to your stomach. You're totally sick to your stomach. Even with Jefferson as well, you're just sick to your stomach after that.
Yeah.
But you know what? With Jalen Reagor, and you know what? There are people that are willing to give. There's people willing to give Jalen Hurts a chance more than Jalen Reagor. You know what I mean? Like Reagor is just, you know what? He was used the wrong way. He was hurt He was hurt like 3 times this year. But I see some glimpses of what Sirianni could do with him because he's small, but he is fast. They could do some quick screens. They could do some really short things that can really get some big chunk yards with him.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's so much more from the guy. Like I haven't given up on him at all. I don't know how you feel about Jalen Reagor in general. Just
no, I haven't given up on him at all. Oh, I agree. I don't think they used him right, and I think the first way I would have used him to get his feet wet would have just been on special teams. I don't care that he fumbled a couple balls. He would have gotten over that. He was explosive. Look, I come from old school. So back in the day, a receiver didn't have to be great his rookie year. You gave him a couple years to have a learning curve. So I feel like Jalen Reagor is. I think we got to give him time. We got to be patient, and I expect him to have a much better year this year.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, everything's changed as when teams draft, like, because obviously you've watched the Eagles longer than I have, obviously. So even if you take the NBA in general too, like back in like the early, Michael Jordan days, like, they had to work for those contracts. Like they were never given those big contracts. Now players are given contracts. You're getting paid on potential now. And that's a big gamble. So that's why everything's changed so much, especially money-wise. So many mistakes are made.
They used to say you never really know about a receiver for 3 years. That's what they used to say. And it would take 3 years. Now, it's like people expect like the first week of the season. Everybody kind of has a different learning curve. I say 2 years is good enough. I've seen enough J.J. Arcega-Whiteside to know that he stinks. And I don't need to see any more. And that's it,
We have Jolo Mag says, do you guys think, and this is a good question, do you guys think this draft is Howie's last chance to save his career as GM with the Eagles?
I think, I like initially I would say no, but when I start thinking that you may have 3 first-round picks, and if you bomb this draft, if I'm the owner, I'm gonna have to not let him draft. I got too many picks in the first round that I can't afford to let this guy screw up. So I think this is why I think Nick Sirianni will have an influence on him, because Howie has to get this right.
Yeah. No, he does. No, he definitely does. Like it's if he drafts well, so if say like the whole draft is like a success, he drafts really well, you go into the season and then the season becomes a train wreck. Okay, and I know that half of these fans are gonna blame Howie Roseman just automatically. It's like, it's already the last year, whatever, just let him go. I'm tired of this. It's up to Nick Sirianni and this coaching staff to develop these players. And I think, I was very afraid of, after Doug was fired, we're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Who are we going to get as head coach? And then, getting Sirianni. But then you start seeing these pieces that have a lot of connections together. You're seeing those pieces, especially from the Colts. We took almost a lot of the staff from over there that came over here.
Good.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So it's good that, Nick Sirianni could take, especially if guys really do like him and other coaches really do like him. But, it is fun in games. But at the end of the day, it's a business. And they know how they can work really well together. I just don't see this offense. I mean, even with defensively as well with Jonathan Gannon, like he's a very good development with cornerbacks, with the secondary. I mean, I think he'll do a really, really good job. And I like that it's a young staff, and I like that they want to prove themselves, and they want to go out there and show that we're going to make this right. We're going to turn this franchise around and do it the right way. But at the end of the day, Howie Roseman picks those players, and it's up to the coaches to develop them and get them prepared for the first game of the season. Obviously, it's going to be much easier this year because you're not dealing with last 2020 with the COVID going on, and like that was just a total disaster. How you get these teams prepared? The Eagles weren't even prepared whatsoever. So what is your favorite? What is your favorite? Just about this coaching staff in general, like what do you like about this coaching staff? And I know I've already said it, but just in your own words, like what do you like about this coaching staff? Could be about Nick, could be about anybody, just in general.
Well, I do like that. I don't mind that they're young. What I like most of all is, I would say probably I find the energy, the feelings that Nick Sirianni gets me, man. He feels like a motivator. He feels like a guy who I think knows exactly what he's talking about. I think he's going to develop young talent. See, I think the whole issue this offseason for Jeffrey Lurie was, why are my young drafted players not good? Is it Howie Roseman or Doug Peterson not developing them? He took Howie Roseman's side. And there's some truth. I mean, you look at Sidney Jones. He goes to Jacksonville, plays good. Rasul Douglas goes to Carolina, plays good. So maybe it is that they're not developing, but Nick Sirianni, he just makes me want to run through a wall. But I think most importantly, I think he is a developer of talent, and that's what I like about him.
Yeah, no, that definitely. Like, the excitement is there. Like, I know you had like the Lions coach, and he was like, "I'm gonna break kneecaps, and I'm gonna do all this violent stuff to play." Like, that's great to hear, but I want that intellectual, micromanaging coach that's gonna take nothing but perfection at the end of the day. Okay, like that tweet from 2019, like. He was yelling, like one of the beat writers for the Colts, said that Sirianni was yelling at a player for not knowing the playbook. I mean, that's how, like, that's what I need here. Like, that's what I want here. Yeah. So, and some coaches that come to the Philadelphia Eagles and have little short success or no success at all. Doug Peterson, seeing like him and his son like on a NBC Philadelphia, seeing them, he looks good, he looks healthy. Like being on this team and losing this many games, like it takes a toll on you. Like it's not the easiest job in the world to be the Eagles head coach. You take a lot of slack from the fans over these games. You really do.
You do. I think Sirianni's like he's high energy and all that stuff, but I feel like it's authentic. Like I don't think he's just BSing you. I think that's how he is all day long. You know what I mean? And I think like people gave him crap about that first press conference. He was nervous in there, but I think his mind was so many different places. Like I kind of totally understood it. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about the whole coaching staff. I'm excited about the quarterback coach we got, the offensive coordinator from Florida. I mean, I really like everything I've seen, read, and heard about him. So there's a lot to be excited about with this coaching staff. And like you said, they're hungry. They're young, and they want to prove themselves. And I like that,
Yeah, that's definitely. The Nest Out West with Philly Foothills. What's going on, man? I hope you're having a good day, bro. If you guys haven't subscribed to the Nest Out West, please subscribe to his channel, guys, because he puts out content. He's upgrading his channel. He's doing a fantastic job. If you guys haven't checked him out, please hit his comment and check it out, guys. You won't be upset over it.
Awesome guy.
We have 296 people to chat, guys. Much appreciated from everybody coming to the first ever podcast for me at Philly.500 right now. The podcast with no name. Right. So this is gonna be like this for a little bit. Obviously, the next 2 weeks. If you guys haven't liked the stream up, if you guys have not, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you guys haven't checked out Philly.500, please check out his channel. If you guys don't know who he is, I don't know where you're looking at Eagles news, because if you want to see entertainment, you want to see double moonwalking in the best way and fashion, you got it right there on his channel. So link in the description below. And we need a podcast name, guys. So there is a link for that video to enter for the grand prize that we pick for the winner. Go to that video, comment as many names as you possibly can. Absolutely. And we will pick a name in 2 weeks. We'll announce the winner, and you will get a prize for it. So we're trying to make it more fun for you guys, because me and Philly.500 came out with some really bad names that really didn't sit well with us. So
yeah, really bad names, like real bad names, you know. But hey, we need you guys, so we hope that you guys will put out some stuff. There's been some really good ones already. You know what I mean? We just got to go through it. So. I can't wait to see what you guys do.
We got Born Center 15 says, do you believe in our player development department and medical staff?
We've changed it like 3 times.
Yeah, this will be the 4th time if we do it.
I mean, it's like we've already changed it so much. You got to wonder if it's really them or I mean, I personally think that some of it is just that Doug was really laxed with like nutrition and stuff, you know, and the other is, I just think when you have so many older guys, you're going to have more injuries, you know? Yeah,
it's true. I mean, even during the Chip Kelly era, we really didn't have to worry about injuries. That's probably the one plus out of it, because they were on the field 24/7 all day, all game. So I don't know what they're doing wrong, but like that's the next thing we have to worry about. It's not only we have to draft well, and we have to get this team together, get prepared for the 2021 season, but we got to make sure that these guys, like, we can't have 14 offensive line changes during the year. We can't lose our whole secondary I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, look, We've had a team that's been resilient, but this year that team was backed into a corner and they fell apart. Like prior years, they've been backed into a corner and they were able to, you know, put their hands together and let's go fight it out. Let's go show them what we're all about. This past year was just they were backed into a corner and they fell down and couldn't get back up.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird, and to me, like at times, Doug, I felt like they weren't listening to him. You know what I mean? Like, you know how after a while, coach gets a little stale, and maybe players don't hear you the same way. I felt a little bit like that with Doug. You know, I still would have personally, I would have probably gave him another year, but I'm okay, man. I'm excited about Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, I was actually okay with leaving, you know, having Jim Schwartz here for another year. But then when he actually got fired, I was like, you know what? I was like, I'm glad he's gone, because I'm tired of putting money into his defensive line. I'm tired of keeping the same players every single year. Still thinking Jalen Mills is going to be anything. Still thinking that, you know, there's a chance for Derek Barnett. Still thinking that Nathan Gary is still a prime linebacker. Like, oh, he has 138 tackles. It's like, what, beyond the first down marker?
I know. Well, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. Nate Gary stinks, dude. I just don't know what else to say, except for he's never had the makings of a varsity athlete. He should not be in the NFL.
Was he worse than that linebacker we had in the Chip Kelly era? What's his face's brother? The linebacker with the long hair from Green Bay. That's not there anymore. That linebacker. What's his name?
No, Nate Gary.
Matthews.
Yeah. Matthews. Not Clay Matthews' brother, right? What was it?
Yeah. I forgot his name.
What was his name? I can't remember either. I forget what it was, too. That's how bad he was of a player. He got his name.
I don't know which one was worse. That's what I'm saying.
I remember now. It's Casey Matthews.
Casey Matthews.
Yeah. He stunk. But, no, I would say Casey Matthews made, you know, it was way better. Nate Gary makes Casey Matthews look like Ray Lewis.
That's so funny.
If you put Casey Matthews and like, what's his face? Nate Gary, literally, you would say, whoa, dude, Seth Joyner came out of retirement. That's how bad Nate Gary was. I mean, they got photos of him running the wrong way.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, he's running the wrong way. At least Casey knew where he was going. He had a GPS or something, you know.
Oh, man. We got Ronnie Wyatt says, get Terrace Marshall in the second round. It's a second option. It's a second option. I'm good with it. And
no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. You're good.
If you say that, let's say the Eagles say, hey, you know what? Best guy on the board is Parsons, or it's J.C. Horn or Surtain, and you go that way, I want to come back in and I want to go get Terrace Marshall. That's the guy. You know?
Yep. They met up with him twice, or maybe more than that. There's definitely some interest there.
Dude, I think he's going to be a stud. I have him as my fourth best receiver in this draft. You know.
Yep. I think from playing with really good guys, he's played with Jefferson. He's played, I think with some of these guys that he's played with, it's upped his game. It gets him prepared for the NFL, and he's fast. He's got a great. His catch radius is fantastic. I mean, tracking the football is great. I mean, he's got that dog in him too. I know he's got that attitude in him as well. I mean, he'll be the number one receiver coming here. I mean, there definitely be no problem with that.
Oh yeah, I agree. But, like in my dream scenario right now, I want Devante Smith, and I want to find I really want to land JOK, like bad. Like I have dreams about him. I think about him. I write love letters to him.
Boss.
Yeah, I think JOK is just, I think he's going to be a beast in this league. I really do. He does everything well. And I would love to build a defense around that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. He's just got those. He's just very violent. I mean, and when you take over Parsons, is that he could cover, and I think and he's discussed that. I've read some quotes from him that he made sure that part of his game is gonna take him to the top, because he doesn't want to be that one type of linebacker that can only do one thing. He could do everything. But he could play, like, you could put him at multiple positions. I mean, you could do so much with him. You could move him around all over the place. So
yeah. The first time I watched him was one of those Philly Reacts videos, and I put him on, and I couldn't believe that this guy was 214 pounds. He looked like he was 240 pounds by the way he played, but he was all over the field. He could blitz. He could cover. He could hit. I mean, he could do it all. So that's the guy I want to build my defense around right there.
Yep.
And then what about all the things he said about Philly? I mean, how can you not love that?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if he understands the city, like, at least you're getting a guy that's not going to get surprised and, pull a Carson Wentz on us and just give up out of nowhere. So we don't want that to happen.
No, we do not.
Paul Mancini says D. Smith won't be an every down receiver in the NFL. His body is too small to take punishment for 60 plays a game. I pass on him.
I think that's a lot of people's fear. I feel like it's overblown though. I'll take a chance on him. I'm not gonna let that stop me from drafting him. He's 6. If he was 5'9", 5'10", I would say okay. But he's 6'1". I do think he'll be able to put on weight, and not lose speed. I understand the fear, but I remember a lot of people said Barry Sanders was too small to play in the NFL. You just couldn't catch him. So I wouldn't let that influence me, but that is a concern for some people. I get it.
Now, was Hollywood Brown, perceived the same exact way in that draft, because he was another guy that had a small body, but he had a really good, his groundwork was fantastic. So I don't know. I don't really know how he's playing now. I haven't really followed him too much. Hollywood Brown, has he become a really good receiver in the NFL?
I think he's had some injuries. I think he's been a deep threat for them. I don't watch enough Baltimore to tell you he's like their number one receiver. But when I look at Devante Smith, if you tell me if I was to say Devante Smith is 200 pounds, people would say he may be the best receiver in this draft because he does everything well and he runs routes great. I can't let the 175 pounds, I can't let it scare me off from the talent. I'd take a shot,
Yeah.
But I understand though. I understand the worry.
Yeah, no, definitely. But the thing is, it's like a lot of the tape I've seen from Devante Smith is mostly like they like to throw to him in open space. And they like to fit that ball into him, especially back of the end zone. I mean, they had a couple back end of the end zone catches as well, where they're just fantastic. I mean, how you have that concentration to catch a ball like that. I don't know how you do it, but he's got it. I mean, he's got it. That's definite.
I like him.
We have the Nest Out West with Philly Foothills with the super chat. I definitely missed this. I don't know why it didn't pop up. Like, this one just didn't pop up, so I'm sorry if I'm late on this. Two of my favorites. You guys are great. Appreciate it, man. If you guys haven't subscribed to his channel, please.
Yeah, go sub up Nest Out West. Great guy. We're going to have him on one of these days.
Yeah, I'm missing. Are you dealing with this too on StreamYard? Because it's not showing me everything. I'm missing stuff right now.
No, but I always have the problem on StreamYard. It's already always delayed, and then it's even more delayed with StreamYard. So I'm not surprised.
Got another super chat from Josh Craven. Sorry I'm late. What's up, guys? How you doing, man? Hopefully you did show up too late, but just catch us every Saturday, and you will catch us on these podcasts every single week.
And the great thing is, it plays again. You can come to it later if you can't be here. So. You know,
let's see here. Yeah, I know. I know, Alien. I know because I'm not used to. Shakes is slacking reading the live chat. I'm not used to. I usually read everything when I'm by myself, so I'm not used to skimming around, trying to find things to read. So I'm sorry about that, everybody. I'm awake. Are you says JJ needs better coaching, my man.
He needs better coaching. He needs a better umbrella. He needs an umbrella that doesn't protect the sun. He may need some turbo boosters. I'm not big on JJ. Now maybe I'm wrong, and he'll prove us wrong, and that would be great. I would love nothing better than do a video saying I was wrong about JJ Ortega-Whiteside, the Umbrella Man. But I got to see it to believe it.
What did he have? He had the fumble recovery for a touchdown?
Yeah, he had a fumble recovery for a touchdown.
That was so sad. I said people are going to be bashing him for that.
Oh, people were in my stream telling me that see how good he is? He recovered a fumble. I said he ran right over to his mom's umbrella.
Nicholas Benson Sr. says, really wanted Pitts. We're behind Dallas and New York now.
I know, Nicholas. I'm with you. I mean, look, I'm not... I have to see how this turns out with this trade back. I want to see what they get at 12. I want to see what they get with Miami's pick before I say that was bad or good. But there is a part of me that sits there and just wonders, like, Chase or Pitts, one of those guys was there for you. They're foundational pieces. And it's hard for me to get over that. Now that you have to hear Dallas wants them, I mean, it makes me sick. It makes me sick.
I know, and trust me, Jerry will have no problem moving up. I mean, he's everything for that franchise. So I mean, he'll do whatever he wants to do. That's why Philadelphia. That's why Howie Roseman's got to be aggressive in this draft. And I mean, really, like you've secured like. To think back from this, going back from 6 to 12, like I think we understand why they did it, but they definitely can use it to their advantage. Like they could definitely use it to their advantage. Like you secured your future for next year. Like you've secured, like if your quarterback could work out this year and Jalen Hurts, like if he could work out and this team, you know, even if just say you don't win the division, just say if you know nothing really goes our way, but it's trending upward. Like there's definitely some good things taken from the season. That I'm telling you right now, you could really cause some havoc with these picks next year. You could do whatever you want next year.
And that's the number one reason why we all got to pull for Hurts. Because if he's good, it's the quickest way for us to turn this thing around, you know? But like you were saying, like Howie's got to be aggressive. Like, look, if Pitts or Chase falls to 7 or 8, let's say 8, you could trade up and you still have a first-round pick that you're not going to have to give up. So you come away with the guy and still gain a first-round pick. To me, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Yeah. And you prevent Dallas or the Giants from getting that guy. You know?
Yeah, because I'm telling you, they can't. I mean, if they feel like they don't have to sit at 12, then take a shot. I mean, make some calls and take a shot at least. It doesn't hurt. At the end of the day, it really doesn't hurt. You know what I mean?
No, nothing to lose. No, nothing to lose.
I don't want to hear they had no leverage. I don't want to hear they couldn't trade up. I'm telling you, like picks talk. Those picks will talk to people.
Or they didn't have the picks to do it, or whatever. No, dude, they have all the ammunition they need. You know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. 282 people in the chat, guys. Appreciate it. We have gone over an hour and 13 minutes. I don't know how long. I didn't even realize how long we were on.
Go as long as you want, my man.
Really appreciate everybody being here. If you guys haven't liked this stream, please like the stream. If you guys haven't subscribed either, try subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to Philly.500, go in the description below. His link is down there. If you guys haven't heard of Philly.500, you got a problem, and I think you need to subscribe. So much love to everybody. We just started our podcast today. Next Saturday, we'll be back on Philly.500's channel, so we're going to be switching weeks every single week, 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to the link below for the video, for the podcast name. Go to that video and comment on that video, any name for the podcast, and the winner of that podcast, whoever gets the name for the podcast that we agree to, gets a prize. So we're very excited for it, and it's all up to you guys.
And you can do it, man. You can win the prize. You're sitting there, and you're going, is he talking about, I'm talking to you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You can win a prize. Get the name right.
Yeah, get the name right. We have a super chat from Northwest says, will we draft cornerback or receiver in the first round, and who?
I'm going to go just based upon, and I'm only going based upon my draft board. I think we're going to go wide receiver because I think they're going to be the best two players on the board at the time. So yeah. I'm going to say it's Waddle or Smith.
And I think if Waddle or Smith is there, and even with J.C. Horn still on the board, I think they should still take one of those receivers regardless. If it's Devante Smith, I'll be happy, regardless of who it is. Like, if we hear a name, I want to, look, it's been really hard. It's been really hard for the decisions they have made since the Super Bowl, what they have been trying to do, because at the end of the day, Howie Roseman has been trying to keep the same roster and thinks that he can still win with what we have. But the older these players get, you're restructuring older players. You're not drafting well. You have no money for free agency. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen is now it's going to bite you in the butt. Now it's going to catch up to you. And I think it really caught up to us because free agency. No. Were you really excited about free agency?
No.
No, no, not even close. So
I think Yang Gang, he has something to say. Interesting.
Where's that?
He really likes Pitts maybe more than me.
Dang, I DM Pitts, told him if he signs with the Eagles, he could bang. Oh my God! I haven't heard back yet.
His hat says math. He says hat says math. He's definitely calculating calculations there.
That is great. That is so great.
I love it.
All right, we have another super chat. Philly Fresh, what's going on? Say, yo, that what's good? 500 Shakes podcast. Love that name too.
What's up, my man? How are you?
If you guys haven't subscribed to Philly Fresh, the General, aka the General, please subscribe to his channel. Covers Eagles news, Eagles everything, and it's just straight up with everything. I mean, doesn't sugarcoat anything. So please go to his channel and definitely sub him up. Definitely sub him up. Oh no, wait. Hold on. I think I can't look at the. All right, so we're gonna get to it, but Tone the Shields the second with the super chat. Shout out to you guys. Much love. Another Eagles vid maker and covers Sixers news as well. Please, reach him to 1,000 subscribers. He's climbing very fast. If you guys haven't checked his channel out, support these guys. They give really great content, everybody. Really great content. And then for the finale, Jason Kelsey with the super chat. Appreciate it. I have a feeling we're going to see more of this guy, a lot more.
Where did you find that picture?
That's scary.
That is awesome. I look like I'm about to turn water into wine.
We have Ronnie Wyatt saying Howie will draft Sarah Fuller out of Vanderbilt with the 12th pick. I love when they mentioned her name. I think it's funny. I think it's totally funny. We got super chat from JaMarr Chase says Dallas still stinks.
They do, definitely. That's just great.
Oh man. Sometimes it's funny when people do that. It's just
it's hilarious, dude.
Like I had a guy that I sneezed during a podcast or I sneezed during a video, and I was sneezing, and the guy took a picture of it, and it said Joey Sneeze 72. Oh my god, I was dying.
That's hilarious.
I was dying. Oh my god. Let's see here. Life of Toast says Judge Jefferson went to the right system. He would not have been successful with us last year. That's what I'm saying too. Like if we had DK last year, if we had DK, Justin Jefferson, do you think that they would have been used the right way? That's another thing they really think about too with this coaching staff.
I think DK would have been, because I just think he's so physical and dominant. He would have. Jefferson, I don't know. I don't know. The thing is you wonder, would they give him the same opportunities? Would they give the rookies, the young guys, the same opportunities that Jefferson got in Minnesota, that DK got in Seattle? But to me, the way I kind of look at it is that if you would have drafted DK 2 years ago, you wouldn't have had to draft a receiver the following year. So you could have gone linebacker. You could have gone so many other ways. But when you miss the one draft and you don't get these picks, it snowballs,
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's why I would never trust this, even if we draft. That's why there's some people are blind by it. But it's like, we could have had these players, and I understand that, and we get upset when we see these players do so well. But at the end of the day, with that coaching staff we had, I mean, this is the guy. And Doug Peterson. This is the guy that went to Jeffrey Lurie and said, "Hey, I want to make Press Taylor the OC. I want to make Matt Burke the new defensive coordinator." Not even just moving coaches around. Was he afraid to hire talent? I mean, hire his staff. Was he afraid to? He was too friendly with too many guys. I don't know why he did that. I mean, obviously it's water under the bridge now, but that was just so annoying. I mean, having Rich Sangarelli as your as your offensive assistant, having Marty back and all that, and then what really puzzled me, for the 2-point conversions, he had a chart that would give probability. Not even using your brain, he had a probability chart to use 2-point conversions on the percentage of more likely that they're going to win the game. I mean, that's how crazy it was.
And that cost us about 3 games last year.
I guess so, yeah.
I mean, it really was bad. Remember that Giants game? We just kept going for 2-point. It's like, what are you doing? It just, very stupid. Very stupid.
Being too aggressive, not being smart. And obviously, because Doug was trying to, he wants to get his team up, he wants to inspire that confidence, but you just can't. You're going to bury their confidence if you keep doing that and not doing it at a strategic way. You just can't do it that way.
Or what about, I think it was a Cincinnati game in overtime, right? It was I think it was a 3rd and something, right? It was 3rd and 20, something like that. But you only really needed 10 yards to get in field goal range. And he literally, I think he ran the ball or something stupid like that. It was you could be aggressive, but you can't be stupid about it. He was stupid about it.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Really, a lot of those really hurt. We have, am I missing some stuff? This is confusing me. Just making sure I got everything here. We have a super chat from Dean saying, thanks a lot, man. It says, it might just be me, but Jalen Hurts just reminds me of Tom Brady, Russell Wilson, where they're doubted, but their work ethic drives them so much.
I mean, it looks, he's definitely got a great work ethic. He works hard. And now we just got to see him put it on the field. But hey, that's what we need. That's exactly what we need.
Yeah, I mean, to look at Jalen Hurts and what he's done, he hasn't listened to the outside. I mean, I don't know if he looks at news or what he knows what's going on, but I think he's just worried about himself. He's being that leader. He's putting his foot forward, and that's all we can ask for at this point. We're kind of lucky to have Hurts, because with this Carson Wentz trade, would we really be depending on Joe Flacco? I mean, at this point, so. And Joe Flacco's a whole nother story, because I had some speculated news from myself in my own head, because I think about stuff late at night and I have no life. But I said that Joe Flacco could have went to any other team. He had a lot of offers, okay? Joe Flacco coming here just said a lot for me, because this team has no franchise quarterback. the coaching staff is really young and not proven yet. And Joe Flacco could take advantage. Like, every quarterback wants to start and be that quarterback.
Right.
He in his own mind has a huge chance to say, I go to Philly, they're a mess right now. He'll say they're great, I think they're great, blah, blah. You know, all the PR words.
Yeah.
But do you think that Joe Flacco took advantage of the situation?
I think he probably is taking a calculated risk, saying, "Hey, if I go here, we don't know about Ertz yet. So why not? Maybe I'll be in a perfect position." You know, I think there's something to it. You know, but I don't think he's got a chance in hell of starting over Ertz though, ever.
Yep. We have Paul Mancini says Eagles 4 wins last season were over a backup QB for the 49ers. Mullins, third string backup for the Cowboys. Ben DiNucci, backup of Saints Taysom Hill, and went over Giants starter D. Jones.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean, it's bad. No question.
I mean, even with Ben DiNucci, like, what did Carson? He 120 yards. I mean, it was as close to Ben DiNucci stats. It was pretty much almost the same thing. It was really ugly. It was.
I really thought the 49ers game, the way they won late in the game, I thought that's where Carson was going to get going, and he just never did. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Carson Wentz trade is done. I never would have made the trade, to be honest with you. At this point, it's over now, so I don't think about it anymore. But I wonder with Carson, because Doug had done such a bad job with everybody else we're talking about, all these young guys he couldn't develop. Well, maybe that was the same issue with Carson. How, we don't really know, you know?
No, I mean, I think you're right. Even about that 49ers game, I was like, man, they came back, and then Fulgham just came in there and just, he was just that reliable receiver. And then winning late was fantastic. And then figuring that there was going to be a new beginning to this team, maybe kind of hit the restart button and say, hey, we need to play like this more often. But obviously, it just wasn't there. Really embarrassing. I have missing super chat. People are telling me I'm missing super chats. I'm sorry, guys. These don't come up, and I don't know why they don't, so I apologize. Leo Aberschmidt with the super chat. Thank you very much, man. He says, draft Wildsmith, trade 2 2s for A.S. Jr. Or Newsom.
I mean, well, if you draft Waddle and Smith, for Asante Samuel Jr., he should be there right around 37, shouldn't he?
I think it's a good spot. I think maybe a little, if they want to move up a couple, maybe just depending. I don't know. Like 37 is, it's all right. I mean, I think it's a good spot to go get one of those guys. I mean, I don't know how much more you have to really move up, but
I don't think you would have to give 2 2s is what I'm saying. You could probably give your 2 and like a 4th or 5th and probably go get them.
Right.
And I'm all for Asante Samuel Jr. I like him a lot. I do.
Got super chat from Sloppy Joe Sloppy Show says, if the Jags offer pick 25, 33 for 12, do you do it?
No,
I
I can't go from 6 all the way to 25 when I'm a team drafting 6. You know what I mean? The reason we're drafting 6 is because we need talent.
Right.
If you had some great GM who picked all these guys great in the mid rounds and early, I would understand it, but we're dealing with a guy that's got to just follow his board, Right. So I don't want to go that far back.
No, I don't either. If there was a trade back, like if we trade back, like just say we didn't trade back to 12, say we traded back to like 19 or 20, like that would have been that. I don't know what that would have been. That would have been really bad. To move back that far.
I'll say this also. To go from 25. To go from 25 to 12 and only get a second-round pick in return, I need more. You have to give me more.
Oh yeah.
You have to give me more.
So do you think that Miami will be good and the Colts will be good next year?
I have a feeling Miami's not going to be as good as everybody's making them out to be. I feel we're going to be watching Miami very, very closely come December.
They're spenders. Miami is a bunch of spenders. They spend a lot of money. They really do.
Look, if we look at Miami, I'm not sold on Tua. I'm not sold on Tua at all. And they had it looked like a better year for them, like they may turn things around, but historically Miami stinks. So I expect them hopefully they'll be bad. You know. But I think if you're the Eagles, though, I think you have to view that pick as like a mid to late round right now. You know,
Right.
and be very aggressive if you have an opportunity to go up in this first round and use it to get a a JOK or somebody.
Right. Okay. We have Marcus Abney with the super chat. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated, dude. Thank you. Let's see. I see some people do agree that we'll get a cornerback at 37. That's definite. Yang Gang 22. You'll get a cornerback at 37. I think that there's just it goes so deep. I just think this is the perfect draft to add to your secondary. Add that competition factor to it. You know what I mean? Just add more bodies. I mean, it can't hurt at the end of the day. It really can't.
The Eagles need to come away from this draft, in my opinion, with 2 starters. 2 instant starters is what I want out of this draft.
Yeah, the first 2 picks we got to have. They have to be on the field. Like we can't skip. We can't fail one of these picks. You just can't do it.
Nope.
Can't do it. 5-star FSG says Joey and Philly love you both. Did you guys check out TJ Vasher? I've looked at some tape on him.
No, I love you too, but I haven't watched him yet. He's on my next Philly Reacts, though. Once I get this batch out, I'm going to do about 4 or 5 more, and he's the first guy I'm going to do.
So the Philly Reacts on your channel are through the memberships, or through
it's
they'll just rate? Oh, okay, it's for everybody. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Dave Wright says Tyreek build is way bigger than Waddle, as his short area quickness is out of this world good.
Tyreek Hill's a stud. I mean, if Waddle's even close to him, he'll be a hell of a player.
And isn't he bigger than Tyreek though?
Yeah, I think he's bigger than him. Yeah. But I think Waddle's only like 5'9" or 5'10" though, right? I don't think he's that big.
No. I think you're right. I think he is like 5'10".
Yeah.
What do you think about this defensive line going into the season as a whole?
This is what worries me about them taking a defensive lineman at 12. You have Derek Barnett, who's in the last year of a deal, making $10 million. Then you have Brandon Graham, who's probably your best defensive end, but he's only got another year left. He's getting older. So this is a time where I could see the Eagles wanting to draft a lineman. It makes a lot of sense for the way they think. Now, the reason I don't want to do it is because it's not going to be the best player on the board at 12. But I look at it like a Kwity Paye, and I say, man, he looks like to me a perfect Howie Roseman type pick right there.
Yeah.
But they need help. I also want to say that I think Josh Sweat is better than Barnett, and I think he deserves an opportunity to see what he can do this year.
Right. Like I really just like I said, Josh Sweat has just been getting better and better every single year, and I think like I sometimes I think he doesn't need to be in rotation. Like I think he could just stay in a whole game, and just the more reps he gets, the better he gets.
Yeah.
And then with these defensive tackles that really frustrate you bring Hassan Ridgeway back. I understand why. He's like a flash in the pan. He's shown some good things. He's good against the run. His pass rush is, nothing crazy great, but he can get through there if you need to.
Yeah.
But Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Cox really need to turn it up. I mean, in a lot of ways. I mean, these are 2 really big contracts. Now, I don't know what you think about Javon Hargrave. Now, I want you to talk about Javon Hargrave when we signed him, and obviously the aftermath of what you're looking into now going into 2021 with Javon Hargrave.
I honestly, when they signed Hargrave and they had Malik Jackson on the roster already, I really thought that they were positioning themselves to have somebody to replace Fletcher Cox in a few years because of the money, because of his contract. And I thought that's what they were doing. Obviously, that's not what they're doing. I like Hargrave. I think he's a stud. I thought he came on at the end of the year, and I think he's going to be really good. I do worry about Fletcher Cox getting older. I think he hasn't been himself the last few years. I don't think he's been to the level that we are paying him to be. So I worry about him. But if they're both healthy and playing at their ceiling, they're going to dominate. They could dominate.
Yeah. I feel like, you paid Malik Jackson so much money, 3 years, $30 million, and then you go into next year. Obviously Malik Jackson had the injury after the first game, and you go into the next year, and then you pay a $4 million, $39 million for 4-year contract for Javon Hargrave. That's, do you think a change of scheme, is something that you have to get used to, or you think that's definitely a big one?
Yeah, I think especially going from a 3-4 to a 4-3, I definitely think it takes a while. And you had no all season last year, right? We always forget these guys had no all season, and he was injured. But if you watched Hargrave at the end of the year, I thought he was the best defensive tackle on their team. I thought he was playing that good,
Yeah, definitely.
So I expect big things from him this year. I think he's going to have a big year.
Yeah, I saw him put something on Instagram saying you haven't seen the best of me yet or something like that, which I'm giving him a chance, but and with Fletcher Cox, he can't disappear in games. I mean, like four or 5 games to the season, he had like a half a sack. Like he's got, like, I'm seeing Aaron Donald every week just mow down people. I mean, and then this guy is just like, he's getting paid so much money. He took a little restructure that was really nothing at the time. We saved about $5 million from it, but I mean, it really wasn't. I got to see more from Fletcher Cox. I have to. It's.
I agree.
That's why you got to. That's why you have to load up on the secondary. Get someone that's next. Get someone opposite Darius Slay. Who's going to play on the inside? I have no idea, because Avonte Maddox has really been up and down. Obviously, with the linebacker position, it could get more crowded with this draft. You never know at some point. But obviously, Eric Wilson was a tremendous, huge upgrade at that position. Jannard Avery moving back from defensive end to linebacker, his original position. That is huge. And on top of everything else, safety, Ronnie McLeod's still dealing with the injury, so he might not come back to the quarter of the season, half the season. So, you have Anthony Harris now, which was pretty much a steal. Now, are you really trusting Kevon Wallace? Do you give him that chance? Do you think he's? I mean, he was graded pretty high in that draft. Like, he was graded like a steal from that draft.
I still like Kevon Wallace. It's so hard to say because we're talking about all these guys, right, and whether they're doing good or not. And then we also spent time earlier talking about this coaching staff, not putting guys in the right position, not utilizing guys. So what is it, the guys, or is it the coaching staff? Are they not putting these guys in a position to succeed? This is the great unknown. This is what we're going to find out this year, about a lot of these guys.
Yeah, it's definitely more of the coaching staff because, like Davion Taylor doesn't come in. He plays special teams, but Davion Taylor, your 3rd-round pick, he doesn't come in until like week 10 of the season. Like, what do you expect him to be good?
I know.
I mean, exactly. Can I blame him? Like, you can't blame the player for that. He's not getting his chance. What type of evaluation are you giving these guys in the offseason? Now, our offseason was a totally different offseason, but the whole entire league dealt with the same offseason. There's been some very successful teams, so something is wrong. Right. Okay, something is just not right. So that's why this coaching staff is the way it is right now.
Well, and look, like you brought up Avonte Maddox earlier. I mean, look at a kid that comes in. He's got to play outside. He's got to play slot. He's got to play safety. They don't let a guy just learn one position. Let a guy learn one position and get good at it, and then let him learn another position. You move them all around, you're going to mess with them. Remember Andre Dillard, first couple games at left tackle, fine, moving the right tackle. And I was saying this is very dumb because it's very hard to switch sides like that and just play. And he got killed.
Yeah, definitely. Like, even when Lane Johnson a few years back had to switch to left tackle, and he struggled playing left. It's not easy as everyone thinks it is. No. It's not.
You have to do everything that you're used to that you don't think about opposite.
Right.
And in football, if you hesitate and you're slowing down to think about something, somebody's going to go right by you. That split second that you hesitate is a lifetime.
And with Andre Dillard, I think it really blew his I mean, that was just I think they benched him. I think not even a few snaps. I mean, he was that bad.
Crying and stuff.
I don't know. We need some dogs in this roster.
I know. I mean, you have guys walking around with umbrellas. The mom's holding umbrellas. I mean, Seth Joyner and like Reggie drove. They would have tore those guys up, man. Our guys walk around with umbrellas.
Let's see here. I'm missing some. We got Marcus Abney with the. We're gonna go for another like 5 minutes. We're probably going to end it. We have 278 people to chat, guys. You guys haven't liked this stream. You guys haven't subscribed to the channel. Please subscribe. Appreciate everybody being here. We have almost 300 people here. It's been a crazy, a really good day. Like, seriously, I was kind of nervous about how this was going to go, but I really do love it, and I think it's going to go places, and we're definitely enjoying ourselves. So do appreciate that. If you guys haven't subscribed to Philly.500, his link is in the description below. If you guys haven't heard about Philly.500 and missing out on his content, then I don't know who you've been watching, but all the content creators are fantastic. But Philly.500 is just a different breed of content creators, legendary, and you got to go watch him. So, and this new podcast, very excited about it. We are looking for a podcast name, guys. Link in the description below for that video. Comment on that video, and you'll have a chance to win a prize for a new podcast name that we pick and we vote upon. So very excited about that. It's a little bit of fun for you guys as well. Marcus Avenue with Super Chess. I think we got some hungry dogs on the Philadelphia Eagles team. Don't sleep on the Eagles.
I agree. I think so. I think the Eagles are going to fight for this division, to be honest with you.
Yep. I mean, I'm hearing from Roger Goodell that there might be full capacity, which I don't know how, but
that's also a big problem for the Eagles. That team feeds off the stadium.
Right. Right. Marcus Abney is a new member to the Shake Squad Army, bro. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated. You're gonna love it here, man. You're definitely gonna love it. So much love to you, dude. Much love. Another super chat from Carson Wentz is my quarterback. Thanks, man. He says Asante Samuel will be the pick at 12. /# fire Howie.
Fire him then. I like Asante Samuel Jr., but not at 12.
No. Definitely not. Just make sure I'm not missing anything else here. And we have another super chat from Jason Kelsey. I can't. That picture.
I was just thinking, where's Jason Kelsey? I haven't seen him in a little bit.
Appreciate it, Jason Kelsey.
Genius, by the way. Genius.
Eagles DJ Brown said that Jason 500 pick.
I know. It's hilarious. Oh, man.
Philly.500 says, glad to see the Cowgirl fan come into a real team's chat. I understand how lonely it is on the Cowgirl chat. You're always welcome here.
That's right.
So Torteville says, I think Howie is going to trade down around 20 to try to get another third rounder, which he could flip into a second rounder. I think Howie might try to get 3 picks in the top 50, like number 20, number 37, and 50.
If Howie's thinking about doing that, then we got problems. Because you can't afford to keep going away from talented players to get mid-round players. I think this team needs top-end talent. It just needs straight-up top-end talent. It doesn't just need a bunch of decent players. It needs top-end talent. So to me, you're going from 6 to 20. I mean, it's you got to get me more than a third-round pick. I need more first-round picks in order to justify that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. You got to be careful. You definitely got to be careful with that. Esmerita Bruce says, like and subscribe. Really a loyalist to both channels, mine and Philly.500's. Awesome person and very supportive.
She runs my channel. She's the queen. Whatever she says, she tells me, I do.
Much appreciated for you coming in today.
Yes.
So Tildera Nawusu says, would you rather draft Horn at 12 and Marshall or Bateman in the second, or draft Waddle Smith at 12 and a cornerback in the second? In your opinion, is Bateman or Marshall a better fit for us?
I would say Horn Marshall sounds really good, but I would still go Waddle and Smith at 12 and give me like a Asante Samuel Jr. in the second. I would choose that.
Yeah, I agree.
And the reason I say that to him is because, once again, I'm trying to be, like honest and faithful to the board, my draft board. I'm going to get the best talent I can get. I'm not interested in skipping that. So I'm not going to say, well, I can get this player second, but I have to go to the player ranked less on my board. I have Smith and Waddle higher than Horn. So that's why I would do that.
Yeah. Like don't go by position like of need. Like they have to draft a top talent in this draft. Like this is the only way this team is going to get better.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you have Waddle or Smith on the board at 12, I don't care who else is on the board. You're drafting one of those two receivers regardless of what you do. Regardless.
Right. Look, and the thing is it doesn't matter who's on the board still, because whoever you want, you have the ammunition to go get them. If you really like them that much, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, these are like, don't pick a name out of the hat and say we're drafted this player. Like, they have to go. And I think you're right, Philly.500. I think you're right about Nick Sirianni and just hearing his words. And I think Howie might be listening a little bit, and Nick's got his ear a little bit and saying, hey, like, let's do it.
I would never have thought they would have signed Wilson. Never in a million years, you know.
Yeah.
So that was a surprise. I think Nick Sirianni is our Agatha Harkness, and he's messing around in WandaVision, and he's got Howie neutralized. That's what I think.
It's. I'm telling you, I'm hoping that's the truth. I'm really hoping it is.
I am too.
So Torville says, if Eagles stay at 12, Howie will probably go Pay or Slater. I would be okay with Slater, but not Pay. If we go Pay, I'm destroying my TV.
Quit. That's my biggest fear is Kwity Paye. That's my biggest fear. Him or one of the defensive ends for Miami.
What do you think of Kwity Paye in general?
I think he's all right. I think he's got some talent, but I see him more as a guy I would take in the 20s. So I don't want to take him at 12.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
I would rather take JOK at 12 than him.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. No, I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, that's a guy. I mean, I'm not saying you can't build around Pay, but I'm saying with Jock in the building, I mean, that's your tone setter. That's your guy for more than 10 years on this squad. I mean, that's the guy you're going to build around. So
yeah, that's right.
I mean, his attitude, just how I mean, we haven't had a monstrous, violent linebacker in a while. It's been a while,
long time. Yeah.
So, you know, Jason Kelsey actually says something for once. It says, "Loved the podcast."
Hungry dogs run fast.
God, you gotta get that Mumbers outfit. You gotta get it.
I'm gonna have to do it, dude. That's the greatest. Don't ever get rid of that. That's awesome. I laugh every time I see that.
All right, guys. Well, we're probably going to head out right now. This was a really fun night, I have to say. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. If you guys are new, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Like the stream up if you guys haven't. If you guys haven't checked out Philly.500's channel, please check it out and sub him up like crazy. You will not be... I'm telling you, you will find out how great and entertaining Philly.500 is with his videos. You get the news, but you get a little bit of extra flavor with it. So,
thank you, buddy.
I appreciate that. We and Philly.500 are doing a podcast. I know I've said it a million times, but in case new people are coming into the stream, we are doing a podcast every single week, every Saturday, 9 Eastern. Okay. Today, obviously, was on my channel. Next week will be on Philly.500's channel. Then once the season comes, we'll change some stuff around and we'll update you guys. But we are looking for a podcast name. There is a link in the description right now. Go to that video and just comment on as many names for our podcast as much as you possibly can, because we're looking for a name right now, because we're a no-name podcast for the next couple weeks.
That's right. Exactly right.
The winner of the name that we choose will get a grand prize, and we are very excited to do that. Kind of make it fun for everybody, and because we just can't come up with a name, it's literally impossible. So it's definitely not going to happen. But and kind of do that. So appreciate everybody being here. Philly.500, if you want to say whatever you got to say.
First podcast. It was awesome. Had a lot of fun. And I can't wait to continue this, man. It's going to be fun. And we got the draft coming in a couple weeks, so it's going to get intense. You guys definitely don't want to miss it. And definitely make sure, if you haven't, sub up my man Joey Shakes on the way out of here, because he deserves it.
Appreciate it, man. And other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. So hope to see you, obviously, on the next one next week on Philly.500 Channel. Make sure you go over there next Saturday, and we'll be rocking. So, awesome. All right, guys, we'll see you guys later. Now remember, Shake Squad up, fly, fly. Peace out, guys. Peace.